viewers. This is a Theta TV. You are kindly welcome to this English orientation course. In this lesson, we are going to discuss on the major topic called the solar system. Some of you, it could be a new term, but to the majority, it is not something very new. So we are going to learn a subtopic called the planet of the solar system. The planet of the solar system. Since this is English orientation, dear viewers, we are going to base on learning the 4 language skills. So while continue with this lesson, dear viewers, you may take a pen in order to note new points or concepts that could help you in the future. So get prepared by having a pen and a piece of paper. So you must be, you are supposed or you are insisted to practice the 4 language skills, including writing. So you have to pay very much attention to this so that you can get the concept. Thereafter, you can note it down. It could reach a time where I could insist you to pronounce. So pronouncing, you could be practicing the so-called speaking skill. Don't forget to do what I have asked you. Thereafter, let me go directly to the lesson that is the planet of the solar system. In this lesson, I have to make you aware of the 3 terms that are related to this subtopic, the planet of the solar system. The first thing, dear viewers, you are supposed to know the meaning of the solar system. What is solar system, dear viewers? Solar system is said to be a gravitational bond, the gravitational bond system of the sun and objects that revolve around it. It is refers to be a gravitational bound system of the sun and the object that revolve around it. It is said to be a gravitational bound in the sense that there are forces of attraction that is between any 2 bodies. There is a force of gravitation that is between any 2 bodies. That's why I say it is. I will say that it is a gravitation because there is a force of attraction. Things are attracted one another. So it is a source of attraction. That is the meaning of gravitation. Or in other words, dear viewers, we can say that solar system refers to the arrangement of planets in relation to their position from the sun. It can be said as the arrangement of planets in relation to their position from the sun. So that is the simple definition of the solar system. And for that matter, the sun appears to be at the center of all other bodies that I'm talking of the planets. So the sun is at the center while the planets are moving around it. Another concept that you need to be aware of is the planet. What is the planet, dear learners? When we were discussing the solar system, we said that solar system consists of the sun, so we cannot say solar system without talking about the sun and the planet. Now, what is the meaning of the planet, dear viewers? The planet, we can say it as the large bodies that revolve around the sun. It's the large bodies that attempt to revolve around the sun. They revolve around the sun. These large bodies, or in other words referred to as the planet, they are of about 8. The first one, or the closest planet from the sun, the closest large body from the sun, is referred to as Mercury. All of you say Mercury. It's the first planet, or the closest planet from the sun. It is followed by Venus. All of you say Venus. Venus is the second planet from the sun. The third one is Earth, the one that we are living, and the only one that supports the life of the living organisms. It's our planet that we are living. It is called the Earth. All of you say Earth. Earth is the third planet from the sun. It is followed, or the next planet after Earth is Mars. All of you say Mars. Mars is the fourth planet from the sun. It is followed by Jupiter. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the sun. Fifth planet from the sun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth planet from the sun. After Jupiter, it is Saturn. All of you say Saturn. It is the sixth planet from the sun. After Saturn, we have Uranus. All of you say Uranus. Uranus is said to be the sixth planet. The seventh planet. And the last planet, dear viewers, the eighth planet is called Neptune. All of you say Neptune. So these are the 80 planets, or the large bodies that revolve around the sun and makes the so-called the solar system. So what is we have been talking about the sun several times. What is the meaning of sun, dear viewers? Sun here, it is referred as a hot ball of the glowing gases. It is a hot ball of the glowing gases that is round in shape, spherical shape. It is round, but it's very hot. So you can simply say sun refers to the hot ball of glowing gases. Or you can simply say it is the star at the center of the solar system, the only star at the center of the solar system. So when we are talking of the solar system, dear learners, here we are referring of three aspects. The first one, we said it is the planet, or it is the planet. The planet here, we are referring of those 80 planets that I have already mentioned. Also, we are talking of the sun. It is said to be the central body of the solar system. And also we covered about the concept or the idea of the solar system. That's why I said that we discussed about the three concepts here. Let me come back to the planet. When we are analyzing, identifying the planet, dear viewers, there are 80 planets, but they differ. They differ in terms of their position from the sun. So I have mentioned, I have analyzed those planets according to their position from the sun. So I started with the nearest planets up to the farthest planet from the sun. We said the nearest is Mercury, while the farthest planet is Neptune. We have been hearing about the so-called Pluto. In the previous time, Pluto was considered to be the 9th planet, but nowadays it is said to be the dwarf planet. It is no longer existing. So Pluto is not among the planets that revolve around the sun. Another concept that you have to know here while discussing the solar system, it is this, this planet they differ in terms of their size. Others seems to be they are very large, while others are small. Now let me analyze these planets in terms of their size. The smallest planet and the largest planet. Don't forget about their position, their distance from the sun. Here we are talking about their size. Which one is bigger, which one is smaller? Here, starting with the biggest planet, Jupiter, being the 5th planet, is said to be the biggest planet than all other 80 planets. So in terms of size, we can start with Jupiter. Say Jupiter being the largest planet in the solar system. The next planet in terms of size, it is referred to as Saturn. Saturn is the bigger planet when compared to the Jupiter. Saturn is the bigger, but not the biggest. It's also the bigger planet, but it is not much bigger than Jupiter. The 5th planet in terms of size, dear viewers, is Uranus. Say Uranus. Uranus is the 3rd planet in terms of size. It is followed by Neptune. Neptune is said to be the 4th planet in terms of size. Dear viewers, the next planet is our home here, the Earth. In terms of size, the Earth can be considered to be the 5th planet in terms of its size. It is not much bigger when compared to Jupiter, to Saturn, but is somehow bigger, our Earth planet that we are living. It is followed by Venus. Venus is said to be, the 6th planet in terms of size. And the next one is Mars. Mars is said to be the 7th planet in terms of size. And the last one, or we can say the smallest planet in terms of size here is referred to as Mercury. Mercury. It is said to be the closest planet in terms of distance, but here it is referred to be the smallest. So Mercury is the smallest in size, but it is the closest. It is the closest in terms of distance from the sun. So after the sun, the first planet is Mercury, so it is the closest. But here it is referred to as the smallest. It's very, very small. When you look at the solar system, you may find Mercury to be very, very small. It is the smallest planet. Dear viewers, here, activity number 1. Have a look and study the following pictures. The solar system, where you can see how these planets I've been mentioning are arranged from the sun. You can see the sun at the center, followed by these planets, starting with Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So all these 80 planets move around the sun. After that, dear viewers, you are supposed now to be able to answer various questions. I have been talking of 3 aspects or 3 things that you have to learn while discussing our lesson, the planet of the solar system. Having said so, we are going to compare these planets in terms of their size, in terms of their distance from the sun. The questions that, or the activity that I'm providing you, they base on comparison. We do compare which one seems to be bigger and this one seems to be smaller. So you have to make a comparison. By making comparison, dear viewers, here, that you could be adding more information. You could find yourself adding more information. When you say that Mercury, when you say Mercury, you know that is the first planet. But when you say that Mercury is the closest or is the smallest planet, that means you are adding more information to something. So that situation of providing or describing something more is said to be, you can refer it as the adjectives. So there are forms of making comparison, giving more information to those nouns or to the things. You could be providing, you could be describing adjectives. Words that give more information about the nouns or anything about the places, about the things, about people. When you give more information, as for our case here, we are talking of a planet. But we give more information about the planet. We say that it is the farthest planet, it's the smallest, it's the biggest of all planets. Saying so, that means we could be adding more information. Now, question number 1. Remember that we have arranged this planet in terms of their size and also in terms of their distance. Question number 1 is said that dash dash is next to dash dash. While I was analyzing the planets, they were in ascending order. Now you need to remember, that's why I have asked you to note down. If you have noted it down, you can be able to answer question number 1, which states that dash dash is the next dash dash. For example, you are said to be Venus. When you are talking of Venus, which planet is next to Venus? Which planet is next to Venus? You can say that the Earth is next to Venus. The Earth is next to Venus. So which planet is next to Venus? So we need to know after Venus which is the coming planet. So we can simply say that Earth is next to Venus. That means we start with Mercury, then Venus, then Earth. So we can simply say Earth is next to Venus. So after Venus we get Earth. So when you say next to, that after the coming thing. Okay, that is question number 1. Write it. Earth is next to Venus. Another question. Dash dash is bigger than Mercury. You can compare we can compare 2 planets in terms of their size. Which one says to be bigger than the other one? To my view, I can say that Uranus is said to be bigger than Mercury. Uranus is bigger than Mercury, but it is smaller than Jupiter. For this statement, is said that Mercury is the smallest planet. But, for this case, Uranus is said to be bigger than Mercury, but it is not the biggest. The biggest to our case here is Jupiter. So Uranus is bigger than Mercury. You are comparing Uranus and Mercury. Say that Uranus is bigger than Mercury. Uranus is bigger than Mercury, but it's not the biggest. So when you compare now Uranus and Jupiter, Jupiter is said to be the biggest. In this statement, you can say that Uranus is bigger than Mercury, but is smaller than Jupiter. So we use it than when comparing 2 things. The first one can be maybe bigger, and the second one also is bigger, but it is not such extent of the first one. Question number 3, dear viewers. Dash dash is the farthest planet from the sun. Dash dash is the farthest planet from the sun. We say the farthest, not only farther. When you say farther, means not so much distance. Farthest means when you say farthest, it is a superlative degree of comparison. That means you are taking one thing, comparing with the rest. So when you take all 80 planets, which one is said to be the farthest planet? It is Neptune. The answer for this question is Neptune. Neptune, you can say that Neptune is the farthest planet from the sun. How about Mercury? Mercury is said to be the nearest. If Neptune is the farthest from the sun, Mercury is the nearest from the sun. We are using these words, nearest, farthest. So the word farthest, not farther. We use farther when comparing 2 things. We use nearer when comparing 2 things. But when you say farthest, that means you are comparing one thing with the rest. As for the case of Neptune, we say that it is said to be the farthest planet from the sun. But Mercury is the nearest from the sun. That means you are taking all 80 planets. Which one seems to be very near to the sun? It is Mercury. So you can say Mercury is the nearest planet from the sun. The last question, dear viewers, is about the smallest, when comparing the smallest and biggest. Something that is very small and another thing that is very bigger. But in terms of superlative degree, I do insist this. We have comparative and superlative. Comparative degree, it is when we are taking two things and give more information about them. But when you are talking of superlative, I do repeat this. You have to note down. When you say superlative degree, you take one thing, only one, comparing with the rest, with all others. Here we are talking of the 80 planets. Which one is bigger? Which one is farther from the sun? Which one is nearer to the sun? So in the superlative degree, we take one planet, and for our case, we can take Mercury, and it says to be the smallest, very small, comparing to other planets. That means there are other planets that are considered to be small, but for the case of Mercury, it is very small than all other planets. So it is said to be the smallest planet from the sun, in the solar system. And Jupiter, for that matter, is considered to be the biggest planet. There are other planets that are said to be bigger. For example, Saturn is bigger planet. When you say Uranus is bigger planet, but when comparing one, which one is, it is bigger than all others. We can say that, Jupiter is said to be the biggest planet from, in the solar system. Dear viewers, can I provide you with homework? After getting the concept of this, you are going now to do the homework. You can go to the library. I advise you to get to the library where you can get plenty of books there. You can find a book that can help you to do the following assignment. Or you may consult your friend, sometimes your relatives, your brothers and sisters. There you can learn the names. The names, of all concepts that we have already covered, and the spellings, how are these written? For example, we have been mentioning different concepts. For example, these planets, we say Mercury, how is it written? We say Mercury, we say Venus, we say Earth. Now go to the library, you can consult your friend so that you can learn the spelling of these, various terms we have just discussed. This marks the end of my session. I do insist you to keep on subscribing this channel, Eteta TV. You were with Madam Ghaimo. Thank you very much. You are kindly welcome once again.